How's it going, darlings? Welcome back to the channel and happy Easter for those of you that are celebrating. And today I have another perfume upload for you guys. And the reason I keep stating it's a perfume experience upload is because eventually I'd like to put other content out on the channel other than perfume, but for the time being, that's where my inspo is. So for today, as per the below title, you guys, we are gonna go over an Oriscent oil from Ensar Oud, which is Tien. And this is one of the samplers that was sent to me with my order of white quinam. And yeah, as you guys know, we, as in the royal we, are very... I just had a brain fart, but we're very... oh man, okay, I'm not running on all cylinders yet. We're very fan-like when it comes to Ensar Oud on this channel, so with that said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get started with the musing, then we're gonna go through the perfume experience and walk you guys through what I think about this. Interestingly enough, since I've received this, which has been month on end now, I have not smelt it yet, so this will be the first reaction for you guys and with you guys. So for those that are interested in a raw, unscripted, perfume experience reaction slash opinion, I guess. I don't like to call it an opinion, but perfume experience. Stay tuned. With that said, as per tradition on this channel, make sure to grab a snack, your favorite bevy or a cafe, sit back and relax and enjoy what's about to ensue in terms of an olfactory experience. Okay? And for those of you that are curious, I have some geisha beans today from Honduras, or is it Honduras or Honduras? Okay, Honduras, we'll say it that way. And these are still geisha beans, so same ones that I get from Panama, but these ones specifically are from Honduras. So if you're into your coffee, you're gonna know how good geishas are, and yeah, it is what it is. Wow, that hits the spot. It is kind of late in the day, but it is a Saturday. I'm gonna party tonight, so yeah, all right. All right, so Tien. I picked up the worst food poisoning of my life in Myanmar, but I consider myself fortunate not to have ended up worse. Before I eventually made it into Myanmar, there were several spoiled plans to venture to the country up north to Maitakinya. There were either tourist travel restrictions or sincere warnings from friends in the region not to go until the political turmoil had settled down. At one point, we were set to cross the border from Thailand when a wood dealer we knew insisted we stay. I just came from up there and I'm not going back for a while, and you're a foreigner. Don't go now, he said. It's one thing to be a typical sightseer, but another to find yourself man alone in the treacherous currents of the agarwood world. The safest way would have been to meet the hunters in neighboring countries. But because of the trouble crossing the borders, especially with wild agarwood, this war easier said than done, and even then, there was seldom any guarantee the wood in fact came from the Burmese jungles. Unless you're trained, you may well have ended up buying oud chips from Assam at a markup. Having since been on the ground in person, I learned how the gears move in the country and how tracking down not just authentic Myanmar agarwood, but quality old stock wild harvests was, as my friends had told me, dangerous and difficult. Of course, acquiring the raw material is just the beginning of crafting an oud of Tien proportions. With the wood on hand, how do you now get it all the way to Taiwan? When you buy an Oriscent Myanmar distillation, you know you're not in for anything ordinary and that you can safely ignore whatever Myanmar profiles you may have in mind to compare it to. Instead, smell it next to Nha Trang or Royal Gualam. You will run straight into the same bitter Indo-Chinese DNA that tells you this is oud oil of a different order. Its red kinamic top notes are every bite as acerbic or acerbic as the highest grade Chiara oils in the Oriscent collection. Hours of bitter zesty Chiara tickles your nose with a scent that's drenched in red resin. Usually, Burmese ouds tend strongly towards Indian profiles. Distillation in the country itself is far less developed than in India, and typically you'll still find outdated extraction methods being deployed, oil scraps with bare hands not collected in beakers. The oil smell over fermented and the low medium grade agar wood they were distilled from is apparent. This is the exact opposite experience Tien gives you. Okay, I had to read that again just because, with Indian ouds, they tend to be very fermented. So I'm wondering if what he means here is that over fermented ouds are just lower quality and they're just doing that to hide that low quality and it's just bad craftsmanship, or for those of you that know and understand more about oud, leave a comment below if overly fermented oud is a bad thing. Okay? Because I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing once you get over the first 3 to 4 hours, but otherwise it's pretty cool. The canonic Indo-Chinese thread that runs through Oriscent Oud isn't merely a distillation signature, it has as much to do with the caliber agarwood the scent emerged from. More specifically, the fact that you can capture this gently bitter Chiara verve from various jungles from distant countries endorses my Siva's conviction that Kinam is not limited to Vietnam, even Sinensis. That Tien smells far more like Sinensis than Agalocha, 1,000 times cleaner and pristine than anything locally distilled in Myanmar, with the Oriscent aesthetic oozing out of every whiff, proves this once and for all. Tien is a beautiful, piercing, makes your brain buzz tribute to my Shifu's Chiara heritage and an intoxicating foray into the Red Dragon's den. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the musing. And we will start with Tien Oriscent experience. First time smelling this with you guys, so bear with me here as I open this. Now let's keep in mind he did say red canamic facets, okay? Bordering on Indian, but not all the way. Some of it Chinese too. A little bit bitter. So these are all the things mentioned in the... Oh yeah, baby. Wow. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Alright. Alright, so you definitely get a very strong antiseptic quality, but not very mentholy though. Actually, you know what? I take that back. It is very mentholy. Like I said, first time smelling it, so bear with me as I pick on things. Very antiseptic, very mentholy. I can see the bitterness in it, but I wouldn't say it's overly prevalent as it's in the description. There's something very beautifully molasses caramelly airy like in here, so I'm gonna assume that's facets of the red kinamic attributes of this. Wow, this is gorgeous, you guys. wow, is there something about it that just gives you a rush up your head and just like straight up goes into your lungs and clears them? There's something about it that's definitely warm, slightly smoky, slightly musky. Stickiness comes to mind, even though this isn't the stickiest sample I've received from them. This is actually fairly fluid, but it does have a red hue to it. Okay, so very sort of ambery red almost. Wow, this is stunning, you guys. Wow. I'm generally speaking not a very big fan of neat ouds, but this is gorgeous. There is no there's no floral notes in here, but for whatever reason, I keep getting in, the back of my mind red florals, and I'm not sure why. Wow. I really, really like this. This is, God, this is gorgeous. There's something else in there I'm not able to quite put my nose on. Yes. Wow. It's not, I was gonna say dried fruits pruny, but no. It's not incensey, but maybe, just maybe, a slight tobacco-ish, cigar tobacco kind of hue to this. Is very subtle though. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna sniff my lungs out here, but yeah, this is, for those of you that are curious about Tien, it is gorgeous, you guys. I mean, this is probably one of the best samples I've smelled. Again, in neat ouds, and just for your info, if I can get the camera to focus, see, it's like orangish hue-ish in terms of the color of the oil, and it's not very molasses like, but it definitely has enough thickness to it where you see it slowly moving. Okay, so in terms of performance, what are we looking at here? So I'm gonna say again, this is an oud oil. Okay, it's not meant to be fancy, it's meant for your own enjoyment. So this is a skin scent. So in terms of projection, trail, and sillage, you're not getting far off from your skin. Okay, so whoever needs to appreciate the scent other than you needs to get very intimately close to you. Okay, now, God, it's like I'm still almost smelling that red floral facet to it, and I don't want to say rose because it doesn't smell like rose, but there's definitely some redness to it. Okay, anyways, let's keep going. In terms of how you would wear this, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a happy scent for a neat oud. So while you can wear it for relaxation, I'm gonna say wear it if you're celebrating something, or you're in a good mood or feeling happy and you want to accentuate, the good vibes. This is a good vibe oil, okay? This is the best way I can put it. It is very happy, it is bright. I don't think it's bitter as per the description. It didn't hit me that much in terms of bitterness. Actually, for me, it came across more as happy, fun, go lucky, energetic. It's definitely an energizing oil. You get that head rush, your lungs feel like they're opening up. So it's a happy, energetic, go lucky oil with kinemic, meditative facets. Okay, so put it on if you're meditating, put it on if you're happy-go-lucky and vibing, positive vibes only if you guys wish, and that's your oil right there. Okay, in terms of how you will dress this, I'm gonna go ahead and say, again, because you want to be happy-go-lucky, relaxed, enjoying yourself, wear whatever you feel confident, happy, and comfortable in. Okay, in this case with this oil, I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey, if a suit makes you feel happy and confident, put on a suit. You can pull it off with this oil. If wearing, leisure wear makes you feel comfortable, happy, and relaxed, then go for it. This also will work with it very well. In terms of gender leaningness, ouds, generally speaking, I find tend to be more masculine leaning in terms of sort of gender energy, or if you want to say polarity energy. However, I'm going to say that this also, the ladies can rock it fairly well just because of the red facets in it. Just to keep in mind that it is slightly masculine biased, in my humble opinion, versus feminine leaning. And again, that whatever red floral / red facet aspect to this, I don't know how to put it, to be honest. I'm not sure what that note or facet is, but it's very gorgeous, very regal, very majestic, very exotic, very sensual, very tactile almost, very warm. Yeah, I mean, it's just gorgeous, very romantic almost in another way I can explain it, but it just smells amazing. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. Now, in terms of context, what season would you wear this? I'm gonna say this one is pretty versatile compared to a lot of the other oils I've been, covering on my channel. So I'm gonna say this can go well across the seasons. But again, I find ouds tend to be better during cold seasons like fall, winter, or early spring. It can be a bit overkill during the summer. I would not say this one falls under that category, kind of like strong Indian ouds you find in a lot of Middle Eastern perfumes and Middle Eastern ouds, but you most certainly can pull this across all seasons because it's so stunning and so gorgeous. However, ouds generally speaking work best during fall and winter. Okay, in terms of time of day, I'm gonna say this is versatile enough to wear through the whole day from early morning all the way to late evening, but because of that gorgeous, stunning red hue, that red note, that red facet, whatever it is, that's just so, God, feels good, guys. It feels like you want to touch it. I'm gonna say evening wear. This would make for a very, very nice evening wear oud, and most certainly very enjoyable in the evening, I would say. I really want to know what that note is because it's accurate to describe it as red, but red what? Your guess is as good as mine. It seems so familiar yet so foreign in terms of, I don't even, anyways. All right, so yeah, evening wear. And in terms of the kind of person that would wear this, I'm gonna say if you're a super happy-go-lucky, fun, extroverted person that is just super chill and people gravitate to you and you take things easy, you don't stress, this is your scent. This is your signature oud oil scent right here, okay? This is what you're gonna wanna go for. So, with that said, let's wrap it up here, you guys. So, would I recommend Tien from Oriscent by Ensar Oud? Yes, 100% I would recommend it. And I would say this is one of the more easier oud oils from Oriscent to get your nose on in terms of just mainstream enjoyability. So get your nose on it, get your wallet on it, cop it. If you have it or you have any of the other Oriscent oils, let me know down below what your experience has been like. Again, I'm gonna say that this is more easier for mainstream nose. So I would say actually, out of all the Oriscents I've talked about on my channel, this probably is the easiest one to get into so far. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. It's very enjoyable, and I'm not super big on neat ouds on their own. So for me, this is game changer and definitely expanded my horizons in terms of neat ouds being enjoyable and not just for meditative or relaxation purposes, but entering other context and having the versatility for other uses. But with that said, I'm gonna wrap it up here, you guys. Get on this, and as per usual, very much appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.